Hello and welcome back to another super entertaining episode of What the Buddy and Kreese. We're your hosts. I'm Buddy.
And I'm Kreese.
Well, how you doing today?
Alive and breathing as always.
Alive and breathing. You staying cool?
No.
Not at all. Hell no.
It cooled down and now we're back to over 113.
Right.
Yeah,
I think we might get some cooler weather here pretty soon.
Yeah, we're supposed to drop down low hundreds next week. So.
Yeah, let's hope.
Yeah.
So we got a treat for y'all today out there in the virtual world. We got a guest, and I'm gonna throw it over to Kreese and let him explain what's going on.
So I have contact with this individual. We'll call this individual Agent X. I'm just kidding. It's my lovely wife, Angie. She's here to share some stories with you. Yeah, she's giving me a dirty look right now because I called her Agent X. So.
No, I'm not.
So, this is a story an experience, I guess I should say, huh?
Yes, it happened last year in this house.
Yes,
that Buddy doesn't know
Yes,
about.
Buddy does
and
not
I'm
know.
super duper scared to hear this.
So he may or may not be returning after this story.
That is correct.
And then, if Buddy's a smartass, my wife Angie will make sure that he may or may not be returning also. So,
That's right. We have to have some respect here.
so. All right, my dear.
Okay.
Angie's on the mic. I call you Mike's on the mic, but that'd just be weird. So go ahead, Angie.
Because she's not Mike.
Exactly.
Right? So this happened last year. It was around this time last year. So we're sleeping, and I hear what sounded like scratching coming from our master bathroom window.
Scratching. Oh.
Like scratching on the wall, window.
Okay.
You know. I hear it. Of course, I'm sleeping. I'm like, I'm going to ignore this.
Right.
I don't want to wake up. I don't want to know what this is.
So give a little background noise. When it's windy here on our property, we have that side of the house where that bathroom window is. We have stuff stored out there.
Yes.
Okay.
So when it's windy, you will hear tools bounce around the wall a little
Yes.
bit.
No, there's no bushes or
No, nothing of
trees
that.
or foliage.
No,
or
no, no,
nothing?
no.
Okay,
There's some like extra lumber. There's
Okay.
some plastic panels.
Yeah, those
that you
kind
like
of
to
things
use
would
for-
make like a thud
Yes.
Yeah.
instead of a screechy scratchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you could have the scratch because of the plastic panels are kind of like the ones you use in a greenhouse.
Okay.
They were actually leaning against the house.
Okay,
So
sure.
in the wind, they do shift a little
Right.
bit.
But if I remember right, if we're talking about the same period of time, you didn't have the plastic panels yet, correct?
No, we did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah,
Never
we
mind.
did that, yeah.
Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, only reason I know that is because I had to help my brother move that damn greenhouse.
Yeah.
Tear it down.
Oh man, I'm
Weren't-
so glad.
Were you there?
No, I missed out on that.
Oh yeah,
No,
that's right. I
that-
got the
yeah,
man of the trailer.
I forget
from
I
you,
was
and
doing something.
We got
else
that.
day.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. And then
right.
he ended up not using it. So that's how I got the plastic panels.
Right.
Anyways,
There
we
you go.
digress. so.
Okay.
So, like I said, I hear it. I'm choosing to ignore it.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm just going to pray. I don't know what this is. I'm going to pray.
Where was
Okay.
I?
Laying next to me sleeping.
Of
Okay.
course.
All right.
Because
So-
Kreese has got to keep this beauty.
Right. Beauty sleep.
So, mentally, I say, Archangel Michael, and that's it. And then you hear boom, boom, boom right above where my head is.
No.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah,
And
not
Chris-
just boom, boom, boom. I mean like
I mean, it was hard on
Like-
the wall,
Oh,
pissed.
wow.
on the outside.
Like
Pissed
a pissed
off.
off knock.
Yeah, just crushing. Boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Wow.
I mean, it woke up Chris from
A dead sleep.
a dead
Wow. Who? Kreese?
sleep. Kreese. So he jumps up and he's like, "What the hell was that?" I'm
Right.
like, I don't know. I go, it came from right here on the wall. He goes, no. It came from out here. So he jumps out of bed. He runs towards the one of the spare bedrooms, and he's looking out the window. He goes, it came from out here. It came out from out here. So I'm sitting in bed and I'm just waiting for Chris to report back.
Right.
I'm like, I know what I heard, but I'm like, okay, well maybe I'm, like I said, I was asleep.
Well, and to give you guys full disclosure too, we have 3 dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And they have
Sure.
access to the backyard with the doggy door, and they barely hear any noise, and they go running out there. They'll bark.
Right.
The neighbors all have swimming pools, and so when they're cleaning their pools and they have the pool poles above the fence line,
sure.
we call those the space aliens because the dogs lose their mind and go out there and try to attack it when they're just poles standing in the air.
Yeah.
They would not. They jumped into the bed.
Right.
And they were as close to Angie as possible on the pillows. They would not leave the bed. They weren't even barking.
Oh, wow.
But they heard it and they were scared.
Wow.
So I'm sitting in bed, just waiting. I'm listening,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what that was. So I don't know, maybe 2 minutes go by. I don't know. It's,
Right.
Of course, in that
sure.
moment,
It's hard to,
Yeah.
it's hard to keep that straight. Right.
exactly. So I'm sitting just waiting. He's like going from one room to the other room.
Yeah,
he goes
check
to
the windows, make sure
Right.
wasn't somebody
Yeah.
out front banging on the screen door on the front door,
Yeah.
banging on the windows of the
Some
house. You know, we
wayward,
live in a safe
intoxicant
neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't
sure.
have issues like that.
Right.
The neighbors are all great. We get along with every neighbor. We know just about everybody in the neighborhood from just waving in general and talking.
And at this point, I think we've been in this house.
It was over a year.
A year?
Over a year and a year and a
Okay.
half.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that
So
sounds
we've been
about
here
right.
for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm sitting there waiting. And then I hear it again. Boom, 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 boom. I jump out of bed at this point. I'm like, Chris, it's coming from in here.
Wow.
So he comes back. No, he doesn't come back. So I'm standing there. I go towards our bedroom door. And I'm just standing there listening. And he goes, I'm going to go out there. And my intuition was like, no. I'm like, and so I tell him, I'm like, no, don't go out there. I'm like,
Right.
we don't know what it
Sure.
is. I'm like, no, just no. He goes, okay. So he comes into the bedroom, and we're just standing there by the doorway. We're just listening,
Right.
and we're like, okay, did somebody like hop the fence? You know,
Right.
I'm looking out into the living room because we have a great room. So you know, the kitchen and
Right.
living room are open to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking out into the living room, and I'm just scanning the room, you know, whether I'm seeing a person or a shadow or
Right.
something.
Some
I'm
explanation of why somebody is like thunderously beating
Yeah.
on your house.
Just, exactly.
Now I went to the back sliding glass door in the kitchen. So, when you come into our house, you have the great room, and you look out. The kitchen's off to the right, and the great room's right in the middle. But our whole back wall of the house is sliding glass doors, and then we have a series of windows that go through the kitchen, so you can see
Right.
practically the entire backyard
Yes.
from there.
Sure.
So I'm scanning the yard looking for. Well, what I usually do when I'm out at the middle of the night looking out there, I'm looking for shadow people. I'm looking for actual people that are
Right.
possibly in the
Yeah.
yard.
A shadow of an actual person
Yeah,
or
I'm
whatever.
looking for animals. I'm looking
Yeah.
for whatever may possibly be in the yard. It's just what I do at night when I get up in the middle of the night to give the dog a treat or something.
Right.
The dogs, I should
Dogs.
say, treat. But
Now,
this-
if it was me, I would have thrown one of them dogs out the back door to like scout the area for
but
me.
you're right, but knowing these dogs would throw me out. The little dogs,
true.
and they run this
That's true.
household, so
You're
we
right.
all know that.
You're
I
right.
know my role in this house.
Yeah.
It's my wife, the dogs, then me.
Then
so
you,
I
right.
totally get it.
Yeah.
But I'm looking, and then after Angie told me not to go out there, and the dogs, and that's when I noticed the dogs wouldn't go out.
They were
I'm like,
quiet. Usually,
Wow.
Yeah.
you know, when
Yeah,
you come
sure.
to the house, they're
yeah,
like,
you can't even come in the door
yeah.
without them yelling.
Oh, yeah.
They're
No,
trying
they
to kill
were
you.
quiet.
Yeah, they're always so excited to see Uncle
Yeah.
Buddy. So,
Sure.
and I knew at that point, I'm like, no, I need to stay in this house. You know,
Yeah.
just based on experiences, based on our knowledge.
Well, your
regarding
sensitivity,
sensitivity
to the
yeah. to the paranormal, and same with Angie with her sensitivity.
Yeah, right.
Sensitivity. Ooh, more coffee's needed.
Wow. That's a lot of syllables.
Knew to stay in the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you can feel it. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's definitely a feeling like,
Yeah.
you know, a void is created somehow.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to stay out of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was
Yeah.
not nice what was outside. You could
Right.
feel it. We could after
No.
we sat there and started analyzing a little bit further. It's like, no, this is nasty energy.
No,
Yeah.
no, your grandma's not going to beat on your wall if she's trying to come through and speak with you.
Yeah.
You know, this was definitely
Yeah.
something that was not happy.
Yeah, this was something that was not happy. This was something, especially after Angie doing the Archangel
Yeah,
Michael.
and only got out a little bit and everything
Yeah.
got worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was very, very nasty out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And,
Okay.
you know, we're just standing there waiting for something else to happen.
Right.
And again, we're standing there for a while. What seemed for a while.
Sure.
And finally, we decided, like, okay, let's try to go back to bed because we don't know what time it is.
Yeah, right.
We don't have a clock in our bedroom.
Purposely, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm like, so we both lay down. I'm like, can you play some angel music?
I changed the music on the phone. Yeah.
Please. Yeah.
So we always have meditation music that we sleep to.
Yes.
Okay.
We always put it on,
Cool.
meditate before bed, and
Yes.
Right.
put that on, and it runs all night long, and we're good. So I pulled up some straight angel, what we classify as angel music.
Yes.
Right.
So we lay down and I say my prayers. I was actually able to say my prayers.
Okay.
And just pray like I just want to sleep. I don't want to be bothered with this
Right.
again. I just want to sleep.
Yeah.
And luckily we didn't have any further disturbances.
Wow.
So now in the morning I went out and checked.
Okay.
Yes.
And one thing I didn't say is when I was out looking, there was no wind, and we have wind
Yes.
all the
Yeah.
time.
This is a
neighborhood
corridor of wind.
Yeah,
right
we
here.
always have wind. There was no wind
Wow.
that night at
Okay.
all. So I went outside and I looked, and the funny thing was, my dad had been over the day before, and we moved everything.
Okay.
There was nothing laying against the house at that point.
Oh.
I forgot.
Okay.
So
Right.
I was like,
sure.
you know, when Angie, when we
Right.
she first
Well, the
started dating
mind,
me,
the mind automatically goes to try to rationalize
Yes.
it
Yes.
in a physical realm
Correct.
instead of the other way.
Correct. So nothing was disturbed, and
Okay.
I expected some stuff disturbed,
Right.
especially if it was an actual human being that was out there,
Right.
jumped the
Fumbling
fence,
around,
Yeah.
jumped the
crap,
gate, was
knocking
moving and
stuff
looking
over.
Yes.
looking through the I call it garbage, but
Right.
the stuff I had stored on the side of the house. So there was none of that. And
Right.
the other thing is, I mean, buddy, you know me, and obviously Angie knows me.
Obviously.
I'm going out there. I don't back down. I will go
Yes.
confront
Sure.
what
Yep.
may be, whether it be of this world or beyond, or what paranormal, whatever. I go confront. I'm not afraid at that point, or if I have caution and concern, then I'll
Right.
back off. But otherwise, I will go confront based
Right.
on my abilities and training and
Sure.
knowledge and all that wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
That night was not good.
No.
Very,
Doesn't
very
sound like
evil. Very well could have been demonic.
Wow.
Now, do we think it was tied to us? What do you think, Ange?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Well, if you would have had experiences leading up to that, and then even beyond that, I would say it could have been tied to you.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
it sounds to me like an isolated incident.
Yes.
So the moon was in the right phase, aligned with the right
Correct.
stars, and everything opened up
Yeah.
something, and
Yeah.
and you got basically they knocked and ran or whatever,
Yeah.
or knocked twice and ran,
Yeah.
I guess.
Well,
yeah.
after analyzing this and looking at it from different angles, I mean, I'm looking at it that it was probably just passing through.
Yeah,
More
sure.
than likely, it was just
Transient.
passing through, which is common because we do have a lot of shadow people that do travel through the backyard
Right.
throughout
Yeah.
the
Yeah. I've
evening.
heard you
Sometimes
talk
during the day,
about
but
that.
through the evening,
Sure.
they're not attached to this property. They're not attached to us based
Right.
on history. We are constantly cleansing both the inside of the home, and the outside, our property itself.
Right.
Just because our
Spiritual beliefs.
spiritual belief.
Correct.
That's
Man,
why you're
that
my.
was
That's why
awesome.
you're my CEO of my
Love
life,
that.
my loves.
Yeah.
We do that because we have the ability to draw. I won't say negative energy, but we have the ability to draw and attract certain things.
Yes.
But we throw up our protection. We throw up our energy,
Yeah.
which
Yes.
usually will repel 9 times out of
Right.
10 everything around, and anything that's kind of lingering and whatnot. We cleanse the house, cleanse the property, and then it's gone. We
Right.
do, for whatever reason, our backyard's like a freeway.
Yeah.
They pass through a lot. Sometimes the dogs see them, sometimes they don't.
Right.
But they pass through, so we know this wasn't associated with us.
Right.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't mean it wasn't associated to somebody else in the neighborhood who was either having bad experience, bad times,
Possibly.
doing something they shouldn't be doing, such as Ouija
Right.
boards. Ladies and gentlemen, don't play with Ouija boards.
No.
Oh,
Not
by
unless
the-
you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and even then, I take it cautious because, fun fact, look up the history of the Ouija board and the company that makes it.
Yeah.
Look at their background.
Yeah.
You'll understand why they came up with that.
It's a little homework assignment for y'all out
Yes,
there.
I expect a 5-page paper
Right.
due next Sunday. No, I'm just
Single spaced.
Yes, yes. Use proper font, please. I'm just kidding. Single space is kind of mean.
No.
Hey, I
that's-
used to be a college professor,
There
so
you go.
single space is kind of mean.
It is kind of
Go
mean.
ahead and double space it. That
Yeah.
way you don't have to write as much.
There
Trust
you
me.
go. Right.
So we do cleanse and whatnot. So we know this wasn't attached to us. But it was by far, since we've been in this home, the nastiest thing
Yes.
Right.
that has taken place.
Sure.
Um,
Now,
yes, sir.
has it happened since, or did
No.
it ever
No.
happen? Just the
Nope.
one isolated?
Yes.
Yep.
Well,
and
so
that's
that
passing.
tells you right there, it
passing
was
through.
transient.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's not something that reoccurs on a certain
Correct.
day
Yes.
every month or something
Correct,
like that.
correct.
You know,
and
so
we
that's
have
good.
family members that come
Yeah.
visit that have passed on. We'll say we know they do little things around
Okay.
the house.
Yes.
Sure.
We know it's them. You know, Angie's
Yes.
Right.
dad likes to tap on the window.
Okay.
We know that's him tapping on the window from the outside.
Nice.
When nobody's there, and you hear the tapping, right? Okay, obviously nobody's there. We know it's her.
And of course, we're checking with each other.
Yeah, make
Right.
sure it's not.
Yeah.
Well, because when you deal with all this, we tend to play games with each other. So it's like, was that real or is that you messing around?
Right.
So a lot of times it's me messing around. But
Yeah.
so yeah, it is. It was nasty that night.
Right.
It was nasty.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
that would be.
Yeah, I would have grabbed some tools of the trade and went out there, but Angie stopped me. And then after realizing what she was saying with the dogs and the energy, it was like, yeah, I need to not go out there.
Yeah.
Because I'm, charge, let's go.
Right.
You are not going to be here. You're not welcome. Anything negativity is not welcome in this household
Right.
or in our lives. And we throw up our energy and we throw up our protection shields and
Sure.
blast it.
And
Yes.
blast it. Yeah.
So.
Wow,
yeah.
that's awesome. It's just more of the same stuff that we talk about.
It is.
We've talked about
It
in previous episodes. It's unexplainable things. I mean,
Yeah.
that I don't know. I think by far that might be the one that that's the most chilling out of. I
Yeah.
mean, I definitely got some goosebumps as I was listening to
Well,
Angie talk
tonight-
about it.
So tonight I have a tent for you, backyard, over
Yeah.
in that area. You can stay there, and-
Right.
So you can have your own experiences here at the house
Sure.
after dark.
Yeah, wait for me to text you. In a week or so.
And then
I might get around to
I'll
it.
send you the laughing emojis. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
So we're like, sorry, buddy, we can't let you in. I don't know if it's really you or something
Right.
else.
You're just gonna die out there. We don't
I'm just
care.
gonna hold up a sign to the window, sucker.
right.
So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we've had
Yeah.
here in this home. That's been the biggest thing in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
Other than shadow people, but yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we don't even in our previous home, which we believe there was not because of us, because of the land.
Right.
Oh, and I have a story for what happened to me out there in Maricopa.
Yeah.
You got time?
You got time.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I'll try and make it quick.
All right.
So, like I said, this is our previous home that we're in, and Chris was working nights. I don't know what job he had, but he was working at night.
Okay.
I know I was home alone.
All right.
So, and this is when I used to go to the gym in the mornings. Like I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and
Yikes!
go
Just
work
to go
out.
to the gym.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So, and I would always carry this. It was like a 74.4 ounce jug.
Okay.
So this night, I'm filling it up, and I almost fill it up to full.
Uh-huh.
And then I remember we had a case in the trunk of our car. I'm like, I'll go out there and grab it.
A case of what? Bourbon?
Case of water.
Just water.
man.
Okay.
So, if you walk out the front door, right along the left side is the garage.
Okay.
So I'm walking along. So this is this particular night was really windy.
Oh.
But what was odd, or that I found odd, was as windy as it was quiet.
Okay. Oh wow, that is weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there wasn't anything.
No leaves
moving.
rustling
Yeah,
or anything.
exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Like nothing was even, like I said, it was windy, but nothing was moving.
Right.
I didn't see any leaves. I didn't even hear the traffic from off of the main highway.
From 347, right?
Yes, which you can usually hear at
Yeah.
night.
Oh
Sure.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, it was like quiet.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you see the,
Eerily
the
quiet.
trees? Trees
Yeah.
were waving because
Trees are moving, but no sound. That's
Exactly.
that's got to give
Oh,
you
yeah.
an
Exactly.
eerie
Yeah.
feeling.
Because across from our house is that house was a green belt.
Greenbelt, right?
And there's trees and everything. I
Sure.
could see the trees moving.
And the neighborhood had mature trees. The neighborhood had been around for a little while now.
Right.
It was a
That was
newer-
one
it
of
was
the
a newer-
first.
yeah, it was the first
neighborhood.
It was
Neighborhoods.
yes. It was
Yeah.
actually the second subdivision in that town that was
Right.
built when the boom
'Cause they-
hit in the early
yeah.
2000s.
Sure.
But the neighborhood had been there long enough where the trees were very full and mature throughout the entire
Right.
subdivision.
Right. Sure.
So I get to the end of the walkway to turn left to go towards the vehicle, which was sitting in the driveway. And I glanced to my left, and I looked again because I thought I saw something. And the best description I can give of what I saw is, you remember the movie Predator?
Okay.
And the Predator, when he goes into his camouflage and it's kind of like
the distorted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clear.
You never told me that either. I was out there at night sometimes.
I know.
So
Welcome to our world, Mr. Buddy.
just to back up, so our house was on the second house in. Then you have the road, and then another row of houses.
Yeah.
So it's walking on that sidewalk in front of those houses. So, like I said, I looked. Then I looked again. And I'm like, what the heck was that?
Right.
I knew. It's one of those, I know what I saw something. I'm not 100% sure I saw that.
Yeah.
So I walked to the trunk, grabbed the case of water, and I could feel it looking at me from the darkness in the shadow between the houses.
Okay.
So go back into the house, finish filling up my jug, and which I used 16-ounce bottle of water.
Right.
Place it on the counter, start walking to my bedroom to go to sleep, see that the dog, at that time we only had one dog, saw that her bowl was empty. So I go back, get another bottle, fill that up, and leave it on this entry table. Go into my room, lay down, turn off the lights, and I hear one of the empty bottle waters fall.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, turn on.
Now there's no ceiling fan on in there.
No.
Okay.
The air conditioning's not on.
No, because this time it was fall.
Yeah.
Okay. So you probably had windows open, possibly.
No, windows were open. No, for safety reasons.
Okay, gotcha. Sure. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I get back up. I'm figuring it's the last one I used.
Right.
So I walk out. Nope, it's still in its place.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, that's kind of odd. Walk back to where I filled up my jugs, and one of those two fell onto the floor.
Wow.
And it wasn't like I had placed them on the edge of the counter.
Sure.
They were placed into the center of it.
Uh-huh.
And it was knocked off.
Wow.
So I'm like freaked out.
Yeah.
Running back into the bedroom, calling Chris. I'm like, Chris! And I tell him everything that's happened.
Right.
So what I saw, what it looked like to me, it was about maybe almost 7 feet tall.
Wow. So big brute.
And it looked like it had like ram horns.
Oh, okay.
And to me, it looked like a demonoid.
Oh, wow.
That's what it looked like to me. But
wow.
Again, I'm not, and that's the only time I ever seen it.
And you caught it as it was phasing out of,
yeah, and it was
visible spectrum to whatever.
Yeah, and it was just walking along, just minding its business. And it's kind of like we kind of looked at each other, and then we looked at each other.
Right.
By the time I looked at it again, that's when it disappeared to where I couldn't see at all.
Right. Wow. Wow, Angie, that was pretty. That's pretty riveting stuff. It gives me chills for sure. So.
Welcome to our world.
Right. So, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
Don't worry, folks. We'll bring her back for another episode in the future.
Oh yeah, now I'm sure something will happen somewhere along.
Well,
the line.
I hope not.
Well, yeah, that's true. But we kind of
It's
hope.
easy for you to
We
say.
kind of hope that something happens, right?
Yeah. So buddy and I definitely want to say a shout out to all of our listeners, both here in the United States, and we have a few in Norway, Indonesia, and Ireland. We'd like to say
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for joining us, and
gals.
look forward to having you listening to future episodes that we have going.
Right.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, you can. Don't forget, you can always get a hold of us. Share your stories with us at wtbnk@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at wtbnk.
And ladies and gentlemen, have a fabulous week. Catch you on the next episode.
This has been a Loyal Family Productions and Entertainment joint.